Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone, especially to Dr. Zanesh, our esteemed visual programming lecturer. So my name is Arif and I'm here to represent our group known as SIA. Why SIA? Because it stands for the acronym of our group members, which is S is stand for Syukri, I is stand for Irfan, and A is stand for me, which is Arif. So we are excited to discuss our project on Tic-Tac-Toe game development using Java language, a prominent programming language for the course BIE20404, the course code. And for this project, we have utilized the NetBeans IDE as our compiler, which facilitated efficient coding and debugging. NetBeans IDE provides us a conducive environment for the developing a robust and functional tic-tac-toe game. And without further delay, let's dive into the Unified Modeling Language or UML language diagram that we have prepared for the tic-tac-toe game. This diagram will help us to visualize the structure and relationship within the game, aiding the development process. So this is the Unified Modeling Language diagram or UML diagram. So as we can see, there are three classes in our project that we have implemented. So the first class is Homepage, the next is Board, and the last one is Setting. So the Homepage, as we can see that this class is extend the Board class, and the Setting class is also extend or inherit the Board class. So as we can see, and we have to conclude that this project we have implemented the hierarchical inheritance. So this is the example of hierarchical inheritance. So from homepage class, as we can see, there are database as usual, database button, JLabel to click the button and it will navigate to the setting or play or board class actually. So for the board, there are the single player, it is to play with the board, and multiplayer mode, we can play with our friend or among our friends. So for the setting, there are five settings that we can adjust actually. For the game mode, the board game or board size, and next the score, info, the timer, and the tiles, the board info. So I think that's all for the UML diagram. So next we can jump into the library that we have implement or we have used or utilized inside this project. So this is the library that we have utilized inside our project. So there are three. The first one is absolute layout. Absolute layout.java is used for the GUI to set up all the GUI component inside the layout. And next, the MySQL connector.java is used for to connect the database with this project or this game with the MySQL database on the local host or phpMyAdmin. So the last one is JDK or Java Development Kit is 20 as a default. So after that, the imported library that we have used for the homepage class is color image is for the image or icon, and JLabel is for the JLabel as usual, and the driver manager level logger connection SQL exception for the exception, and prepared statement result set is for the database for the imported library. So next we jump into the board class imported library of the board class. So the imported library for the board class is for the image, where for the image, for the audio when we in game, we have the audio or the sound to attract the user when play the game. And after that, we have also the IO exception for the user when they have an error or making something unnecessary move inside this game. And after that, J button, J option pane, the timer also we have used. And for the connection, as usual, there are all of that inside the game. So next, we jump on imported library of setting class. So this is the imported library of the setting class. As we can see, there are toolkit, image, this is for image. The driver manager, as usual, is for the database imported library. And we have the event switch selected. This is for the switch button that we have utilized for the boolean tree setting of boolean we have used for the game. So next, we will discover, or we will talk about the data structure of this project. So this is the data structure of this project of our game. So actually, we have create the Tic-Tac-Toe database inside the PHP database or MySQL database. So inside the Tic-Tac-Toe database, we have create the table name setting, and inside the setting table, we have construct 5 columns in this table. So the first column name Gamemode, and the data type is text. And after that, the board is text also for the to store the actually the game mode is to store the game mode as a single player or multiplayer. And for the board, it will store the 3x3, 5x5, and 7x7. Why we have used or choose the odd number for the board? Because when we have developed the even number, we have decided and we have discussed with our group members to eliminate the even number, because it will make the tiles or board not in the center of the board, or the tiles not center to the user eyes. So next, the match timer column, we have used boolean. Board info is also use boolean, and the last one score is use boolean also. Boolean. So when we go to the setting page, it will be, so this 3 column, it will use the switch button, because it will, when the becomes 1, it will enable on, and when disable, it will be 0. So it's compatible with the switch button. So next, we will go to the demonstration. So this demonstration will be executed by Bro Syukri, and it will continue.
Hello, my name is Syukri. Today I'm going to introduce you to a mobile game application that my group and I have developed using Apache NetBeans. This game is called Tic-Tac-Toe, also known as the XO game, a classic that many people are familiar with. Before we dive into the game, there are some essential setup steps to follow when using Apache NetBeans. You need to have the XAMPP application installed and ensure that Apache NetBeans and MySQL are up and running. Failure to do so will result in an error message. Once you have the prerequisites in place, you can launch the game by clicking the Run button. So at the middle here is the home page, the first screen that greets users when they open the game. On this page, you will find the XOXO logo, which I personally designed. The game's title, Tic-Tac-Toe, and the two buttons. First one is play, and the second one is settings. Before jumping into the game, it is important to configure your setting. Let's explore the settings page. So click the settings button. Here on the settings page, we have two categories. First one is general settings, the second one is match info settings. Under general settings, you can choose the game mode and the board size. And for the match info settings, you can configure the match timer, the board information display, and the score information. By default, the settings are configured in a certain way, meaning that the default setting is the game mode is single player, the board size is 3x3, and the match timer, board info, and score info is turned on. If you make change and wish to revert to the default setting, simply click the reset to default button. The question is, how does it all work? So as I mentioned earlier, this game is connected to a MySQL database, which you can check on my PHP admin website. Here on PHP my admin website, you can check the database here, and this is the table name is setting. So we have game mode, board size, match timer, board info, and score. This reflects the current game settings. Any change made to the settings will be reflected in this database. So let's go through the settings one by one. First, let's try changing the game mode. So for game mode, we have two options. First one is single player and second one is multiplayer. So in single player mode, you play against a robot where you control X and the robot plays as O. So let's try. There is background sound, you can choose to mute or unmute. There are also sounds when you win, lose, or draw. So that is the single player mode. Let's go back to the setting. The second one is multiplayer mode. In multiplayer mode, you play against people next to you, meaning that you pass and play. So let's try. So first person will be X, second person is will be O. Let's go back to the setting. Now let's look at the board size setting. You can choose between 3x3, 5x5, or 7x7. And first one, 3x3. This is 3x3. 5x5. This is 5x5. And 7x7. Next is the match timer. Match timer setting. You can toggle it on or off as per your preference. Similarly, you can enable or disable the display of the board information and the score information. Let's see how it looks when we turn off all the settings. As we can see, the match timer, the board information, the score number become grayed out and the number are hidden. And last last one is the dustbin button. The dustbin button is used to restart the game while it is in process. For example, if you click late, you can click the dustbin button to restart the game. And that's all. I hope you like this video.
So here is the discussion and conclusion. So the first one is the project began with the brainstorming, role assignment, and regular team communication. Next, regular meeting and communication channel were established to ensure progress tracking and address challenge. The next one is challenge included in designing a user-friendly interface and smart computer-based opponent we have used or developed. So for the board movement, we have just used the map random algorithm for that purpose. So next is key takeaway were effective communication, adaptability, training, and feedback. After that, the future plan include adding multiplayer and leaderboard for more fun. And the last one, the project or this project talk about the teamwork, problem solving, and game design for the future. So I think that's all from us. Thank you for you everyone for your attention and your time. So I think that's all from us. Thank you everyone.